Yo, what's good, YouTube? Back at it again with some more incredible, right on time, just for you news. Before we get into any of that, let's get one thing straight. It's way too many people that come across these videos, watch them, or say something like, "Hey, yo, I seen your video, blah, 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 yo. And for them likes and subscriptions not to add up. So let's fix that right now. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and oh yeah, ring that little bell right there, so when every video drop, you're the first to know. But without further ado, let's get into it. So, I've been getting a few questions about making it to the next level coming from smaller schools such as Division III schools, Division II, JUCO, or maybe not even playing in college. And a lot of people ask me, like, do they have a chance or is it possible? And I mean, I guess the best answer is yes, but it's much deeper than that. Like, it's not black and white. It's definitely a gray area. So you can come from a smaller school, like, hey, myself, for instance, I went to a Division III school. Like I said before in my past videos, if you haven't seen, I didn't play in high school. So, but like I said, I went to a D3 school. Didn't play a whole lot either. Like, pretty much just worked on my game every year and improved, but just took advantage of each opportunity that presented itself. But if you find yourself in that same type of position, you have to work that much harder than your colleagues. You have to work that much harder and be that much more persistent, in a sense. And a lot of people think that, oh, if I go D1, it's gonna be easy. It might seem like that, but at the same time, those guys are struggling to get the same low-level jobs that you might be trying to get into just to get your career started. So it's a struggle for everybody, because you got the same type of guys applying for the same job. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, you have to, like I said before, you got to stand out. But the first thing you must be able to do is humble yourself. That's the first thing. That's the biggest thing. If you don't go into this situation humble, then you're going to probably end up right where you started. And that's right at home. If you know you're a player who you barely played, or you came from a small school, don't look at, well, I mean, you might get lucky, but that's if you like 6'9", 6'10", super athletic and big, you know what I'm saying? But if you don't fit in that category, if you're like a guard like how I was, I probably wouldn't look into like those mid to upper level over pro teams, because those teams are looking for, they looking for potential guys that came out of the G League or guys who were top D1. So like, not saying you can't get to that level, you definitely can, but you kind of got to build your own resume up. You know what I'm saying? And the only way you can do that is you got to start off small. So look for smaller leagues. And lucky for you guys, well, everybody, we got the internet. Get on the internet. You got Eurobasket.com. You got Instagram. Mainly Instagram. That's a big one. And you just type in like whatever country you're thinking about going to, and then go click standings. And then in standings, they got each different division or each league, and it's okay. Go to one of the lower leagues and find one of the weaker teams. Somebody that doesn't have a lot of the resources to bring in a bigger name. So when they see you, and they like, okay, well, he's an American, he has a good talent. We don't have to really break the bank even though we don't have much, but like, so like, it's a kind of like, you can help them and they can help you. Don't look at it like, well, they can only offer me this much and such got this much. Okay, such and such also probably put up 10 more points per game than you. Such and such probably also was a full scholarship player. So with that being said, you have to put yourself in position to succeed, and by trying to compare yourself won't do you any good. So that's the way you definitely want to start off while trying to make it. So once that's out the way, you compose your messages as far as like your bio, what you can do, what you can bring to a team, any other accolades you might have as far as like when you did play in college. And also like little things like this can help too. Like, hey, like I said before, and like I said in my past videos, do you have experience coaching? Do you have experience training? Like, you know, maybe throw that in there, like, cause that can help. Cause a lot of team clubs, like the club I played on, they had different age groups. And before COVID was supposed to hit, like for this season, I was supposed to go in and actually coach one of the, I think the second or third team this season. So like, if you throw that in there, that kind of makes you more, like more valuable. There we go, more valuable to pick in, you know. So throw that on there and like mass message. Find those teams that fit your game and build from there. Just because that's where you start, that doesn't mean that's where you have to finish. So don't look at it like, this is the second league or the third league or whatever. Like, bro, it's so many people who can't even get that. Like, you'd be surprised. Like, I know so many people who like were in much better positions than me, guys who started every year in college, played every game in college, played damn near 30, 40 minutes, you know, and they never got that opportunity to go overseas or to play at that next level. And I did, but that was solely because of my own persistence. Like, I stayed up doing hours of research on who to contact, on what to say, and to piggy on who to contact. It's a little different than college. Like, the head coaches overseas, like in the lower levels, you can probably get away with messaging the head coach. Bigger teams, you wanna message like the GMs or the owners and stuff. But like, that's kind of where I would mainly get the majority of my responses. I would try to message like an assistant coach or owner, because owners, they bring the guys in, you know what I'm saying? They pay them, they cut your check. So if they like you, they can kind of persuade a coach. Like, I like this guy, I think he'll be entertaining, I think he'll help the team win. So try to find those, like I said, those owners and GMs, and you can easily find those guys by, like I said, going to Eurobasket, finding a team that kind of fits your criteria. And they usually have either a website or like their social media handle. And once you do that, like once you can find that team's website, they have like a little contact list where you can find it. Or on their social media page, they tag people like, we young, we know how to use social media and we know how to use the internet. So you go from there. But do that and you'll see for sure exactly how attainable it really is if the game is there. Like, if you a player who you know you got game and you do what I'm telling you to do, like with this part, and you mix both of those together, like you're responsible and you take it serious every day and you're constantly on it, constantly sending out messages and staying in shape training, I just believe in divine intervention, you will break through that threshold and get what you want. But like, if you're a guy who like you do it for a couple weeks and you don't hear nothing back or whatever, it's not that easy. So you gotta lock in, and especially right now with this pandemic of COVID, it's definitely not easy. Like, it's definitely gonna be a lot of ignored messages for a while. And it's not because they don't like your game or think you know how to play. It's just because they're not looking to bring no one in because they don't have the money for it. They lost sponsors. just like a job here, how jobs had to let people go because money was low. It's the same thing with basketball. Like certain sponsors had to lay off employees, had to pull back from supporting teams because they didn't have the funds. So that's why a lot of teams aren't responding back or aren't bringing guys in, you know. So like, don't get too discouraged. We can only pray that it gets better, but in the meantime, like, I would definitely still say send stuff out, because they might be like, okay, well, we can't do nothing right now, but definitely, like, you're the top on our list when we start to get back into the swing of things, because we like what we see. So look, you already a little bit ahead of the competition, so you can't beat that. But like I said, be humble, be persistent, and don't like mentally stoop down to where you came from, because we see it all the time. Like, if you're a big fan of March Madness, you see so many times where a lower seeded team can beat a higher seeded team. That's the same thing as playing overseas. Like, just because you went to this smaller school, that doesn't really define the player you are. It's different circumstances. So you could go over, like, it's guys who came from lower divisions, and like I said, they worked their way all the way up to mid to top level leagues. And it's strictly because they put the work in and they took advantage of the opportunities that they were given. So when you get out there, don't go out there and be like, well, I'm just from a D3 school or whatever. Like, go out there and play your game. Like, do everything you dreamed of doing and wished you were able to do while in college at the one school you were at, or at the school you dreamed of being at. Like, that's your moment of shine right there. Like, just by being given that opportunity. So don't stoop down to that. Like, don't let that define who you are for the rest of your career, because it's not. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, you go out there and you do what you got to do. The sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. So yeah, it doesn't matter, like, really where you come from. Is what you do with the opportunity. And like I said, everybody, this applies to pretty much everybody, because it's like a 3% chance that you're the type of player that agents and coaches from the NBA or G League or overseas are coming to hit you up. Only 3% of the athletes are getting that type of attention. Everybody else is grinding for it, just like how I had to grind for it, coming from a small Division III school in Minnesota. So don't look at it like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you really be surprised how it goes. But like, I don't want to make it seem like it's simple, because it's not simple. But in a nutshell, that's pretty much it. Like, you know, like, if you do all those things, and like I said before, continue to stay in shape and continue to perfect your craft. And watch film as well. Like, watch some games overseas, because it's a different playing style. Like, don't think it's going to be the same as here. Like, it's definitely not. Watch some games and try to work on certain things that you notice the other Americans that's already over there, what they're doing. Try to start to practice those things, because they're going to want you to do that. Like, if they had an American who was really good for them and he ended up getting a better deal, when they bring you in, they expect you to be either on his level or better. Like, if the moment they feel that you're not to that same standard as that last American, they getting you up out of there and bringing somebody else in. That's just how it goes. It's the business. So get familiar with it early. Get familiar with it. Work on it. Study it. And like, you kind of set yourself ahead of the game at that point. But I hope this video was able to help some of you guys, you know, kind of get a little bit confidence in yourself and see that it's not the end of the world. Like, it's definitely still possible. It's just a little work you got to put in, but it's the same amount of work the next person has to put in. So it's not just specifically for you, you know, just because you came from a smaller school or you didn't play or whatever. Like, it's the same. It's just you have to be built for it and ready for that obstacle. So like I said, let me know if you have any questions about, you know, something more specific. Like, message me, I'll be sure to message you back. And like I said, if I feel like it's something that can help somebody else, then we here in front of the camera, letting everybody know. But that's pretty much it. Definitely got some more videos coming. Like as y'all can see, I'm trying to drop more consistently, especially since I'm not overseas at the moment. So I feel like why not just drop knowledge right now while I can, because even when I get over there though, I'm still gonna try to be on this, because I did a horrible job last season of dropping content. So be prepared for this to be the new norm, everybody. But thanks for tuning in, and like, subscribe, share, and ring that bell. All right, y'all. Peace out.